The rain fell soft on the gray stone. Claire Harper knelt in the mud, her fingers tracing the letters carved into her daughter's grave. Lily Rose Harper, 2015 to 2020. Forever in our hearts. 5 years. 5 long years since she'd held Lily's small hand. 5 years since the doctors had come out of that white room with sad faces and sorry words. 5 years since Claire had watched them lower a tiny coffin into the earth. Every Sunday, Claire came here. She brought fresh flowers, pink roses, Lily's favorite. She whispered stories about her week, about the birds in the backyard, about how much she missed her baby girl. The stone never answered. Stones never do. But today was different. Today, the wind carried something strange. A sound, a whisper. Claire's head snapped up. Her heart banged against her ribs like a drum. Mom. The voice was small. Scared. Real. Mom, I'm alive. Claire's breath caught in her throat. Her hands shook. She stood up slowly, her knees weak, and turned around. Standing at the edge of the graveyard between 2 crooked trees was a girl. She wore a gray dress that was too big for her. Her hair was long and tangled, the color of honey, just like Lily's had been. Her face was thin and pale, but her eyes, those eyes were the same bright blue that haunted Claire's dreams every single night. No, Claire whispered. Her voice cracked. No, this can't be real. The girl took a step forward. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Mommy, she said, it's me. It's Lily. The world tilted. Claire felt like she was falling even though her feet were still on the ground. Her mind screamed that this was impossible. Lily was dead. Claire had been there. She'd seen the machine stop beeping. She'd heard the doctor say those terrible words. I'm sorry. She's gone. She'd buried her daughter. She'd watched the dirt cover the coffin. She'd cried until she had no tears left. But here was this girl, this impossible girl, and she had Lily's eyes. Stay right there, Claire said, her voice shaking. She pulled out her phone with trembling fingers. Don't move, please. The girl nodded. She looked terrified, like a deer about to run. Claire's hands were shaking so badly, she almost dropped the phone. She dialed the only number she could think of, her sister, Margaret. Claire. Margaret's voice was bright and cheerful. What's wrong? You sound. Come to the cemetery, Claire said. Right now. Please. I think I'm losing my mind. What? Claire, what happened? Just come. Please. She hung up before Margaret could ask more questions. Claire looked back at the girl who couldn't be Lily, the girl who looked exactly like Lily. How? Claire whispered. How is this possible? The girl's lip trembled. They took me, she said. Her voice was so quiet, Claire had to step closer to hear. After the hospital, they told me you didn't want me anymore. They said I was sick and you gave me away. Claire's heart shattered into a million pieces. No, she said fiercely. No, baby, I would never. They kept me in a place with white walls, the girl continued. Her words came faster now, like water breaking through a dam. There were other kids, too. They did tests on us. They gave us medicine that made us sleepy. But there was a nice nurse. She had kind eyes. Last night, she helped me escape. She said I needed to find you. She said you thought I was dead, but I'm not. I'm alive, Mom. I'm alive. Claire felt dizzy. This was impossible. Completely impossible. But those eyes, and the way the girl said Mom, in that exact way Lily used to, half crying, half hopeful. What's your birthday? Claire asked suddenly. She needed proof. She needed something. July 13th, the girl said without hesitation. You made me chocolate cupcakes with rainbow sprinkles. We went to the zoo, and I saw the penguins. I spilled juice on my yellow dress, and you said it was okay. Accidents happen. Claire's knees buckled. She sank to the ground. Those details, no one knew those details. No stranger could know about the yellow dress or the penguins or the chocolate cupcakes with rainbow sprinkles. Lily, she whispered. The girl nodded, tears streaming down her face. Claire opened her arms, and Lily ran into them. She was bigger now, taller, but she still fit perfectly against Claire's chest. She still smelled like sunshine and something sweet Claire couldn't name. "I missed you," Lily sobbed. "I missed you so much." "I'm here," Claire said, holding her daughter like she might disappear as she let go. "I'm here, baby. I've got you." But even as she held Lily, Claire's mind raced. If Lily was alive, if she'd been alive this whole time, then what was in that coffin? Who had she buried 5 years ago? And who had stolen her daughter? A car door slammed nearby. Margaret was running across the grass, her face full of worry. She stopped dead when she saw Claire holding the girl. "Claire." Margaret's voice was barely a whisper. "Is that—" "It's Lily," Claire said. She looked up at her sister with fierce, burning eyes. "It's Lily, and someone took her from me. Someone lied. Someone made me bury an empty coffin while my daughter was locked away somewhere." Margaret's hand flew to her mouth. "Oh, my God!" "We need to call the police," Claire said. Her voice was steady now, hard as steel. "We need to find out who did this. We need to find out why." She looked down at Lily, brushing tangled hair away from her daughter's face. Lily's eyes were closing. She looked so tired, so scared, so small. "But first," Claire said softly, "we need to get her somewhere safe. We need to get her home." As they walked toward the car, Claire glanced back at the gravestone, at the lie carved into stone, at the dates that said her daughter had died when she hadn't. Someone had done this. Someone had taken Lily and made the world believe she was dead. And Claire was going to find out who, no matter what it took. Detective Ryan Cole didn't believe in miracles. He'd been a cop for 15 years. He'd seen too many bad things, too many lies, too many people hurting each other. So when Claire Harper walked into the police station carrying a girl she claimed was her dead daughter, Ryan's first thought was, this woman needs help, not a detective. But then he looked into the girl's eyes, and something in his gut told him this wasn't madness. This was something worse. "Mrs. Harper," Ryan said gently, leading them to a quiet room away from the busy station. "I understand you're upset, but I need you to explain this slowly. You said this is your daughter, Lily?" "It is Lily," Claire said. Her voice was firm. She wasn't crying anymore. She looked like a mother bear protecting her cub. "I know it sounds crazy. I know what the death certificate says. But this is my daughter." Ryan looked at the girl. She was small and frightened, clutching Claire's hand like it was the only safe thing in the world. "Lily," Ryan said softly, crouching down to her level, "can you tell me what happened to you?" Lily's voice was barely a whisper. "They took me from the hospital. I remember the white lights and the beeping machines. Then I woke up somewhere else. A building with no windows. There were other kids there, too." Ryan's blood went cold. "Other kids?" Lily nodded. "Some were sick like me. Some weren't. The doctors did tests. They took our blood. They gave us shots that made us sleep for days. They said it was to make us better. But I never felt better. I just felt empty." "Do you remember any names?" Ryan asked. "Any of the doctors or nurses?" "There was a woman," Lily said. "She wore fancy clothes, not doctor clothes. Everyone called her Dr. Moore. She scared me. She looked at us like we weren't real people, like we were things." Ryan wrote down the name. Dr. Moore. He'd heard that name before, somewhere. He just couldn't remember where. "And the nurse who helped you escape?" Ryan asked. "She didn't tell me her name," Lily said. "She just said she couldn't watch anymore. She said what they were doing was wrong. She gave me your address, Mom. She drew me a map." Claire squeezed Lily's hand. "We need to find that place," she said to Ryan. "We need to stop them. There are other children there. Other families who think their babies are dead." Ryan stood up. His mind was already racing, putting pieces together. "Mrs. Harper, I'm going to need Lily's medical records from 5 years ago. And I need to see her death certificate." "I have it at home," Claire said. "Everything. I kept everything." "Good," Ryan said. "And we're going to do a DNA test, just to be absolutely sure." Claire nodded. She understood. Ryan had to be certain. This was too big, too impossible to trust on faith alone. 3 hours later, Ryan sat at his desk staring at two pieces of paper that made his head spin. The first was Lily's death certificate from 5 years ago, signed by Dr. Evelyn Moore, Director of Pediatric Services at St. Catherine's Hospital. Cause of death: heart failure due to complications from pneumonia. The second was a preliminary DNA report. Fast track because Ryan had called in every favor he had. The results were clear. The girl Claire Harper brought into the station was a 99.9% match to Claire Harper's DNA. She really was Lily, which meant someone had faked a child's death. Ryan's hands shook as he pulled up Dr. Evelyn Moore's file on his computer. What he found made his stomach turn. Dr. Moore wasn't just any doctor. She was famous, rich. She'd written books about childhood diseases. She ran a private research foundation that studied rare medical conditions in children. She'd won awards. The governor had shaken her hand. And according to the death certificates Ryan was now pulling up, Dr. Moore had signed off on 43 child deaths in the past 10 years. 43. That was way too many for one doctor, even one who worked with sick kids. Ryan grabbed his phone and called his captain. "Sir, I need a warrant, and I need a team. I think we got something big." By midnight, Ryan and 6 other officers stood outside a building on the edge of the city. It looked abandoned. Broken windows, peeling paint, no signs of life. But Lily had described this place perfectly. The iron gate, the crooked tree out front, the number 847 barely visible on the door. "This is it," Ryan whispered into his radio. "Move in, quietly." They broke down the door with a single crash. Inside, the building was nothing like the outside. The walls were white and clean. Bright lights buzzed overhead. And down a long hallway, Ryan could hear something that made his heart stop. Children crying. "Police!" Ryan shouted. Nobody move. A woman in a white coat tried to run, but Officer Martinez grabbed her. Papers flew everywhere. Ryan saw file folders with children's names, dates, medical codes he didn't understand. "Where are the kids?" Ryan demanded. The woman's face went pale. She pointed down the hallway with a shaking hand. Ryan ran. He threw open door after door. And behind each one he found them. Children, some sleeping in beds, some sitting in corners looking lost and scared, some hooked up to machines. All of them too thin, too quiet, too broken. "It's okay," Ryan said, his voice gentle even though rage burned in his chest. "We're here to help. You're safe now." A little boy looked up at him with hollow eyes. "Are you taking us home?" Ryan's throat tightened. "Yes," he said. "We're taking you home." Back at the police station, the woman in the white coat sat across from Ryan in an interrogation room. Her name was Dr. Sarah Chun. She'd worked for Dr. Moore for 3 years. "Talk," Ryan said. His voice was ice. "Tell me everything." Dr. Chen's hands trembled. Dr. Moore, she had a deal with the hospital. When children came in who were very sick, children whose families couldn't afford treatment, she would often take them into her research program. And Ryan pressed. "And she would fake their deaths," Dr. Chen whispered. "She'd falsify the death certificates, pay off the right people, and take the children to the facility. She told their families they died. But really, she was using them for medical experiments." Ryan felt sick. What kind of experiments? Testing new drugs, studying rare diseases, seeing how far she could push the human body before it broke. Dr. Chen looked up, tears in her eyes. She was trying to develop treatments she could sell to pharmaceutical companies for millions. The children were just test subjects to her. And the families never knew? Never. Dr. Moore made sure the funerals were closed casket. She'd put weights in the coffins so they'd feel right. She even sent sympathy cards. Dr. Chen's voice broke. "I didn't know at first. I swear I didn't. But when I figured it out, I was too scared to say anything." She had powerful friends. People in the government. People who helped her. Ryan leaned back in his chair. This was bigger than he'd thought. Way bigger. Who else knew, he asked. The hospital board. Some of the staff. And there's a funding network. biotech companies that paid her for the research data. They didn't ask questions as long as the results kept coming. Ryan stood up. You're going to write down every name you know, every person involved, every company that paid her, and then you're going to testify. Dr. Chin nodded, still crying. There's one more thing, she said. There's a nurse. She didn't give me her name, but she helped a girl escape 2 nights ago. If Dr. Moore finds her, we'll protect her, Ryan promised. And we'll protect every single one of those kids. By dawn, Detective Ryan Cole had made 7 arrests. Dr. Evelyn Moore was pulled from her mansion in handcuffs, screaming about lawyers and lawsuits. 3 hospital board members were taken from their beds. 2 pharmaceutical executives were caught trying to flee the country. But Ryan wasn't done. Not even close. He sat down with Claire and Lily in a safe house across town. The place was guarded by police 24/7. No one was getting near them. It's real, Claire whispered, still not quite believing it. Someone really did this. Dr. Moore stole 43 children, Ryan said quietly. 43 families were told their babies died when they didn't. You weren't the only one, Mrs. Harper, but you might be the only one who got your child back. Claire pulled Lily close. The other children? We're working on identifying them, finding their families. It's going to take time. Some of them. They've been there so long, they don't remember who they were before. Lily looked up at Ryan with those bright blue eyes. What's going to happen to Dr. Moore? She's going to prison, Ryan said, for a very, very long time. She's never going to hurt anyone again. Good, Lily said quietly. Claire looked at the detective with gratitude shining in her eyes. Thank you. Thank you for believing me. Ryan nodded. That's my job, but this isn't over yet. We still have to rebuild what was broken, starting with making sure the world knows the truth. That night, the story broke on every news channel. Hospital director arrested in child trafficking scheme. 43 children declared dead, but were alive all along. Medical experiments on stolen children exposed. The world was watching now, and Claire Harper had one more thing she needed to do. 2 weeks after the raid, Claire Harper stood in front of St. Catherine's Hospital with reporters shoving microphones in her face. She wasn't afraid anymore. My daughter was stolen from me, Claire said, her voice steady and strong. Dr. Evelyn Moore told me Lily died. She made me bury an empty coffin. She made me cry myself to sleep every night for 5 years. But Lily was alive. She was suffering in that terrible place while I mourned a lie. The cameras flashed. The reporters scribbled notes. The whole world was watching. There are 42 other families just like mine, Claire continued. 42 mothers and fathers who were told their babies were gone. Some of those children are coming home now. Some of them have been found. But some are still missing, still out there somewhere, wondering if anyone remembers them. She looked directly into the main camera. If you're watching this and you lost a child in the past 10 years, and Dr. Moore's name was on the death certificate, call the police. Don't give up hope. Your child might still be alive. Behind her, Detective Ryan Cole nodded. The tip line had been ringing nonstop since the news broke. 6 more children had already been identified and reunited with their families. 6 more graves that had held nothing but lies. But the victory felt heavy, because 37 children were still unclaimed. 37 kids who'd been taken so young they couldn't remember their real names or where they came from. 37 families who still didn't know the truth. We won't stop, Ryan told the reporters. We're going through every record, every file, every piece of evidence. We will bring these children home. That night, Claire tucked Lily into bed for the first time in 5 years. They were back in their old house now. The safe house was no longer necessary. Dr. Moore and her accomplices were locked away, awaiting trial. The hospital had been shut down. The pharmaceutical companies were under investigation. Justice was slow, but was coming. Mom. Lily's voice was soft in the darkness. Yes, baby? I'm scared I'll wake up and this will be a dream, that I'll be back in that white room. Claire lay down beside her daughter and wrapped her arms around her. You're not going back. Never. I promise you with all my heart. Do the other kids have moms looking for them too? Claire's throat tightened. Some of them do, and we're going to help them find each other. Lily was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "The nice nurse who helped me escape, did they find her?" "Not yet," Claire admitted. "But Detective Cole is looking. He wants to thank her. She saved your life, Lily." "I hope she's okay," Lily whispered. "Me too, sweetheart. Me too." The next morning, Claire and Lily drove to the cemetery. Claire carried a chisel and hammer in her bag. Margaret came with them for support, holding a bouquet of pink roses. They walked across the wet grass to the gray stone that had haunted Claire's dreams for 5 years. Lily Rose Harper, 2015 to 2020. Forever in our hearts. Lily stared at her own gravestone. Her hand found Claire's and squeezed tight. "It's weird," Lily said, "seeing my name on a grave." "It's not your grave anymore," Claire said. She knelt down and pulled out the chisel. "We're going to fix this. We're going to erase the lie." Carefully, with Margaret holding Lily close, Claire began to chip away at the stone. She removed the death year, 2020, bit by bit. She scratched away the word "died" until it was just a rough patch of stone. Then she pulled out a marker and wrote new words across the gravestone in big, bold letters. Lily Rose Harper. Stolen 2020. Found 2025. Alive and home. Tears streamed down Claire's face, but they weren't sad tears anymore. They were tears of relief, of victory, of a mother who had fought through the impossible and won. "There," Claire said, standing back to look at her work. "That's the truth now. You're not dead, baby. You're alive. You're here. You're home." Lily stepped forward and touched the stone. "Can we put flowers here anyway? For the other kids? The ones who haven't gone home yet." Claire's heart swelled with pride. Her daughter had been through so much darkness, but her light hadn't gone out. Her kindness was still there. "That's a beautiful idea," Claire said. Together, they arranged the pink roses at the base of the stone. Margaret added a small card that read, "For the children still waiting, we won't forget you." As they walked back to the car, Lily looked up at the sky. It was blue and clear, the kind of day that felt like a fresh start. "Mom," Lily said. "Yes." "What happens now?" Claire smiled. Now we live. We make breakfast together. You start school again. We plant flowers in the garden. We have movie nights and tell silly jokes and maybe get a puppy." "Really? A puppy? Really?" Lily grinned. The first real, full smile Claire had seen since she'd found her daughter in the cemetery 2 weeks ago. "I'd like that," Lily said. 3 months later, Detective Ryan Cole stood in a courtroom as the judge read the verdict. "Dr. Evelyn Moore, you've been found guilty of 43 counts of kidnapping, child endangerment, fraud, and conspiracy. You're sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole." The courtroom erupted. Families hugged each other and cried. Claire sat in the front row with Lily on one side and Margaret on the other, watching the woman who'd stolen her daughter get led away in handcuffs. Dr. Moore didn't look scared anymore. She looked small, defeated, powerless. Good, Claire thought. She should feel exactly how those children felt. After the trial, Ryan found Claire in the hallway. "We found her," he said with a smile. "Found who?" "The nurse. The one who helped Lily escape. Her name is Sophia Reyes. She's been hiding, terrified of retaliation, but she's safe now, and she wants to meet you." 2 days later, Claire and Lily sat in a small cafe across from a woman with tired eyes and gentle hands. Sophia Reyes looked like she hadn't slept in months. "I'm so sorry," Sophia said, tears rolling down her cheeks. "I should have done something sooner. I should have stopped her years ago." "You saved my daughter," Claire said firmly. "You gave me back my life. Don't apologize. Say thank you for being brave enough to do the right thing when it mattered most." Sophia looked at Lily. "Are you okay, sweetheart?" Lily nodded. "I have bad dreams sometimes. But Mom says that's normal. And I'm going to counsel her who helps kids like me. She's really nice." "Good," Sophia whispered. "That's good. What about you?" Claire asked. "What will you do now?" Sophia took a deep breath. I'm going to testify at every trial, every case. I'm going to make sure everyone involved pays for what they did. And then, I think I'm going to work with children again. Real work, healing work, to make up for the harm I witnessed. Claire reached across the table and took Sophia's hand. You're a hero. Don't ever forget that. That night, Claire and Lily sat on their porch watching the sunset. A small golden puppy, named Hope, slept between them. Mom, Lily said, I'm glad I came home. Claire pulled her daughter close. I'm glad to, baby. I'm glad you never gave up. I'm glad you found your way back to me. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Somewhere across the city, other families were having reunions. Other children were sleeping in their own beds for the first time in years. Other mothers were holding babies they thought they'd lost forever. The work wasn't finished. There were still children to find, still people to bring to justice, still wounds to heal. But tonight, Claire Harper had her daughter back, and that was everything. If this story touched your heart, please share it with others who need to hear about the power of a mother's love and the courage to seek truth even in the darkest moments. Like this story if you believe in never giving up hope. Subscribe for more stories that remind us that even when all seems lost, love can light the way home. Share this with someone who needs to remember. The truth always finds a way, and families torn apart can be made whole again. Thank you for reading Lily and Claire's journey. May we all fight as fiercely for truth and protect the innocent with the same courage. Remember, if you or someone you know has experienced a similar situation with suspicious medical circumstances, contact your local authorities. Every child deserves to be protected. Every family deserves the truth.